What's happening, guys? Matt Deegs here with another video. Appreciate you guys dropping by as always. Today we're diving deep into the sniper class in Space Marine 2. If you've been looking for the ultimate long-range build that can consistently one-shot enemies, lock down lanes, and completely tilt the battlefield in your team's favor, this is it. In this video, I'll be breaking down my S-tier fully prestige sniper build, including class perks, prestige perks, weapon loadouts, and even gun perks. I'll also go over the pros and cons of the class, along with some tips and tricks that will help you squeeze out every ounce of potential. By the end, you'll know exactly how to dominate from a distance and still survive when enemies push you up close. So grab your scope, lock your Vox channel, and let's jump right in. So the sniper isn't just about sitting back and farming kills. In Space Marine 2, the sniper is built as a precision damage specialist and stealth operator. Your core mechanic is the Camo Cloak, and this is what makes the sniper unique. Activating the cloak renders you invisible for short duration, letting you reposition, escape danger, or set up a devastating first shot. And that first shot out of cloak, it's not just any shot. It's amplified by one of the strongest perks in the entire kit, targeted shot. This perk means that the first bullet that breaks cloak deals massive bonus damage, but we'll get into the perks later on. The sniper thrives on creating windows of burst damage. You're not just a sustained DPS machine like heavy class. You're not running around into melee like assault, like a lunatic. You're there to pick up the right target, hit hard, and disappear again before anyone can react. Done right, you control the pace of the fight and make life miserable for enemy elites. Alright, so before we dive into the perks, let's go over some of the pros. Number 1, insane burst damage. With Cloak plus headshot multipliers, you can delete priority targets instantly. Elites, heavies, and even bosses feel the pain. When stacked with prestige perks, your cloak shot isn't just powerful, it's lethal. Number 2, stealth and map control. The ability to vanish and reappear wherever you want makes you unpredictable. You're not tied to a single lane. You can constantly rotate angles, keep moving around, keep enemies guessing, and that honestly is very advantageous. Number 3, team utility. A well-timed sniper can open up space for the squad. By picking off dangerous enemies before they get close, you reduce pressure on your front line. You also act as a scout, spotting enemy movements while cloaked and calling them out. Number 4, prestige scaling. Unlike some classes that plateau, the sniper gets much stronger as you prestige. Ammo sustainability, survivability, and damage bonuses make you scale into late game content beautifully. Alright, so let's get into some of the cons. Number 1, it's weak up close. If you get caught in melee, you're in trouble. The sniper doesn't have the durability of heavy or the mobility of an assault. Your best defense is cloak and awareness. Without it, you're very vulnerable. Number 2, high skill requirement. You must hit your shots. Missing headshots isn't just wasted damage and ammo, it's a wasted cloak window, okay? Because positioning is everything. A poorly placed sniper is basically useless. Number 3, cloak limitations. Cloak isn't infinite. You can micro cloak, alright, and cloak cancel. However, and we'll get into that in a second and how to utilize that best. There are certain perks to use, but it has a cooldown and breaks on attack. So keep that in mind, guys. If you cloak at the wrong time, you might waste your escape tool. And lastly, guys, ammo dependency. The sniper burns through ammo quickly, especially if you're aggressive. Without the right perks, you'll find yourself dry at the worst times. Alright guys, so let's get into my core build as a sniper, alright? So my primary weapon is the Laz Fusel, alright? So the Laz Fusel is the center of this build. Unlike a traditional bolt action sniper, the Laz Fusel behaves like a high precision energy beam charge weapon. It's insane. With excellent armor penetration and devastating single target damage when you connect critical headshots, alright? It pairs exceptionally well with cloak burst play because it its shots scale heavily with precision and damage multipliers. Okay, guys, playstyle notes for the Laz Fusel Gun. All right, so treat it as your elimination tool for high value targets and priority elites. It rewards patience and deliberate shots. Hit the head or weak points and the target dies. All right, guys, so let's get into a little bit of the Laz Fusel breakdown and kind of go into which relic I chose and its perk tree. Okay, so I chose the magazine capacity variant, the Cathalamor Crusade, and for me, I rather sacrifice rate of fire because there are certain perks you can get that will increase the charge rates. So for me, I chose the magazine capacity variant. I want more ammo. It is hard enough as it is to be a sniper and, to sacrifice ammunition when you already have very low ammunition to start off with just didn't make sense to me. So for me, guys, I chose the top left, the Cathalamor Crusade. All right, going into the perk tree, guys, I'll go over this kind of quickly here. I got a perpetual velocity, so shots charge 50% faster, stacked with adamant velocity, so when your health is below 30%, shots charge another 25% faster. Got a headhunter. We got another perpetual velocity. We got charging immunity. So while charging a shot, you do not lose control from heavy hits. That one's very important because it does take time doesn't take a long time, but it does take time to shoot with the Laz Fusel. So it's not instantaneous. Great Might, damage increased by 10% against Terminus level enemies. We have a Divine Might, damage increase, just a blanket increase in damage. I'll take that any day. And we also have another Headhunter, all right? So we have two Headhunters going on, so a 20% boost. We also have instant health, so when your health is below 30%, killing 3 enemies or more with one shot restores health by 5%. It's not a whole lot, but if you can aim at Minoris, you can easily do 3 in one go, so that shouldn't be an issue. Number 3, Headhunter. So this is our third Headhunter. So right now we have up to 30% increase in headshot damage. All right, and that is rounding out the perk tree. All right, guys, for the Laz Fusel. Let's get into my secondary weapon, and then we can go into a little bit of the melee weapon as well. All right, guys, so for my secondary sidearm, I use the Heroic Bolt Pistol. We'll go into that in a little detail here. I made a full breakdown video regarding this new gun, how it works, tips, tricks. So if you want, definitely check that out in my on my channel. But I'll go into the perk tree just a bit here, guys. So we're starting off with Perpetual Precision, maximum spread decreased by 10%. Helps you hit those headshots, which you'll see is a theme. I try to really utilize headshots because there are certain perks that we'll get into in a second, but there are certain perks that stack really well with headshot multipliers, okay? And then we have our first Headhunter, Gunstrike Reload, increased capacity. We got our second Headhunter. We got extended magazine, even more damage here, headshot damage, sorry. Elite Hunter, we got another Headhunter and another extended magazine. And then the heroic perk that comes with it, you can fire shots in 3-round bursts. All right, guys. So as you can see here, both my Laz Fusel and my Heroic Bolt Pistol really utilize headshots to its advantage here because as you'll see in a second, I really utilize, headshot perks in my sniper class perk tree, okay? So you'll see that in a second when we get into that, all right? So headshots are huge for my build, all right? All right, guys, so let's get into the melee weapon of choice. And for a sniper, it's your only choice. It's the combat knife. Now, I chose the Blood of Voss's variants, the top left balance version. The only reason I chose this, guys, was a higher cleaving potential. I found to be a little more advantageous. I tried these two here, was running the fencing variant for quite a while. I found myself struggling even with Minoris. So for me, I chose this one here. And again, guys, this is just my opinion, but this melee weapon it's honestly just there to kind of help you survive a little bit in in swarm situations, or if you're going to fight one-on-one against like a Majoris or extremist or higher. But really, it's not best utilized for the sniper. Like really, you should be focusing on getting good with your sniper rifle, your primary weapon, whether it's the Laz Fusel or whatever you're using. Utilize that as much as possible and use this as a backup when shit gets crazy. All right, guys. In terms of the perk tree, let's get into that just a little bit. I'm definitely trying to increase my strength here, so you'll see a theme with overall increase in strength. So starting off right there is armored strength. So if you have armor remaining, melee damage is increased by 10%. Yes, with the 2 armor slots for the sniper, you do lose your armor quite often, but if you're paired with like a bulwark that gets armor back every 30 seconds, this will definitely benefit you. And if you're, executing quite often, this will benefit you as well. All right, then we got sharp impact. We have 2 perpetual strengths. We have a heavy onslaught, reeling blow, shadow stab. We have Extremist Slayer, and we have a hard target. So really focusing on increasing its damage as much as possible. All right, guys, so let's get into a little bit of the perk tree for the sniper class. All right, so starting off here, guys, for the first core perk, let's get into that right now. So I have a melee mastery. Now, this could be changed, but for me, I found that this is very advantageous with the combat knife, because the combat knife's base damage is just trash, right? So melee damage increases 20% against Majoris level and higher, which is really what you want to be using this combat knife for, right? Like you're not going to be swiping away at a horde of Minoris. It's you really should be stepping back, letting your teammates clear the horde. You focus on, the big targets, the Majoris, the Extremists, the Terminus, and then when you step in for a one-on-one against a Majoris or an Extremist, that's when the combat knife really shines, at least in my opinion and my experience. So this right here will definitely help that along, right? So melee mastery for the first core perk. Moving on to the second core perk, guys, we have Vantage Point. So this one's really cool. So if you remain stationary for 2 seconds, it increases your ranged weapons damage by 20%. And guys, I'm telling you, you feel that 20%, okay? So this one's really cool. Man, you have to stay completely stationary for 2 seconds for this to work. And there's no cooldown. You can stay stationary. You can sit back, perch yourself up really nice and high or far back from the action, and just stay stationary and pop shots off, all right? So this one's a really good perk. You could run this as well. It's high capacity, so the maximum ammo you can carry is increased by 10%, but again, I chose the ammo capacity Laz Fusel variant, so I don't need that, so it allows me to go a little bit higher in damage by using Vantage Point. And then moving on to the third core perk, guys, I mean, with the Laz Fusel, you really only have one option. If you can't really use any of these 2 because these are for the bolt sniper rifle, stalker bolter, and the bolt carbine. This for that one, but for this one, for Laz Fusel, you really only have one option: lethal efficiency. So killing more than one enemy with one shot from a Laz Fusel restores its charge by 1. Now, if you're hitting Minoris, if you're even hitting Majoris, actually, it's really only useful against Minoris, or if you get like a couple weak Majoris lined up, but that doesn't really happen very often. So it's great for clearing Minoris, the minor enemies. So this one's really cool. And again, it's really the only option we have with Laz Fusel, so might as well use it, right? For the first and only team perk, I have Squad Renewal. So again, going with my headshot damage increase, as you saw with my Laz Fusel perks, and as you saw with my heroic bolt pistol, I have a lot of headshot multipliers, so this one just adds to it. A headshot kill restores ability charge by 10% for any squad member. So if you can line up those headshots with those headshot damage multipliers, then this one really comes in handy, and you get your camo cloak back way faster. Moving on to the first gear perk, guys, this one is amazing and in my opinion a must-have, and the way I use the Camo Cloak, I don't use the full Camo Cloak unless I really need to get away from the situation, or if I'm a last brother standing, a last guy standing, and I need to just cool down for a bit, or I'm trying to kill time for teammates to come back. But the way I use Camo Cloak is I utilize something called, like, I call it mini cloaks or micro cloaks, but the community calls them like cloak cancels or whatever you want to call them, right? So basically, this one right here, guys, purification. So manually activating Camo Cloak removes negative status effect and restores all contested health. Now, this is huge. I'm going to post a video in just about a second to show you how this works, but this one's insane, guys. It really is like a med kit, an unlimited med kit, and this is what makes the sniper a really strong class if you use it correctly, okay? So basically what happens is, I'm going to explain it before we get into it, but let's say you take a massive hit, an explosive goes off, you get a very, very impactful hit from a Terminus or an Extremis, whatever, Terminator with its damn swings going around or whatever it might be, right? You get that contested health, you got the white bar, you pop this off, guys. Boom, you get it right back. And then what I recommend is maybe, get away from the action, recoup a bit, and then cancel your Camo Cloak. So in reality, you wouldn't have used that much of your Camo Cloak ability charge, right? So you can get it back pretty quickly right after that. And there's no cooldown with this, guys. So you can do this over and over again, and it's like a free stim pack. It's actually nuts. I'm gonna put a video right after this. You're gonna see it in action. Okay, guys, check it out.
Prepare for a challenging fight. Setting high priority targets. Carnifex in range.
All right, guys, so very, very cool. I love this perk right here. Purification, must have if you're a sniper. All right, guys, moving on to the second gear perk, guys. I have this one right here, targeted shot. So the first range attack that breaks Camo Cloak deals 75% more damage. That's huge. If you can stack that with your headshot multipliers, it's insane, guys. You're going to get well over 100% damage, all right? So really, really good perk to have. This one's okay as well. The first melee attack that breaks Camo Cloak deals 100%, 150% more damage. However, you got to get into the action, so it puts you at risk. At least with this one here, guys, yes, it's less damage, 75% only, but which is still crazy. But it allows you to stay back on your porch, kind of stay back in a safe zone, continue your shots from a distance, and it allows you to get that 75% more damage. I pair that right here with lingering concealment. So after performing an attack that breaks Camo Cloak, you remain hidden for 2 additional seconds. That doesn't seem like a lot, but trust me, it comes in handy, and it's like a free two or so seconds of Camo Cloak. All right, so it's definitely advantageous as well. And then for the signature perk, guys, this one here, if you're not running with a tactical that has the secure stockpile, this is really going to come in handy. So pattern of excellence, performing 3 consecutive headshots, which happens very often if you're good with your aim, which allows you to get your equipment charge back by 1, and the cooldown is 30 seconds, which is not that long. All right, so that one's a really good perk to have. They're all actually decent perks, guys. So really, you can change this one for any of the other 2 and still be solid. Like this one here, guys, emergency override. When you receive lethal damage, Camo Cloak automatically activates without spending a charge. This is actually, guys, honestly, I pair these 2 right here. So if I have secure stockpile on my team, I'm getting rid of this son of a bitch right here and putting this guy on. All right, this is a must. If you have a tactical with secure stockpile, you gotta be getting rid of this and running this, okay? This is like similar to Emperor's Blessing on Vanguard. It's like a get out of jail free card. It's insane, right? So definitely a must have. All right, guys. This one's all right as well, but perfectly timed dodge activates Camo Cloak. But honestly, it's not really worth it for me. These 2 are ideal. If you're not running secure stockpile tactical, I will go with this one. And if if a secure stockpile tactical is on your team, run this one. But honestly, guys, you can forget what I just said there, and you can run either or, regardless if you have a tactical. They're both really good. Let's move on to my prestige perks. All right, guys. So for my first prestige perk is Emperor's Grace. So when Camo Cloak activates, you become invulnerable to damage for 2 seconds. So sometimes, guys, when you're activating Camo Cloak, usually you're activating Camo Cloak in crazy situations when you're overwhelmed on all sides, or you really need to get out of dodge. All right, so sometimes when you activate it, you're still vulnerable. You can still be attacked. So using Emperor's Grace allows you to be invulnerable for those 2 seconds or so. So it allows you to click it. Even though you're still in that hairy situation, you're able to get out. They can still be attacking you. You're fine, all right? All it takes is 2-3 seconds to get out of there anyways if you're rolling and you're dodging, right? So this one's really, really good. Moving on to the second one, guys, we have Versatile Precision. Performing a kill with your secondary weapon restores 15% of your primary weapon's ammo, and your cooldown is 15%. This one's really good because ammo economy for sniper is very crappy. So this one, whenever you can take an increase in ammo, you take it. Conviction is my third one. So when your armor is fully depleted, you take 25% less health damage for 15 seconds. All right, guys. And then moving on to the last one, guys, Indomitable Spirit. While performing a gun strike, you do not lose control upon taking heavy hits, and you cannot be knocked back. And that's it, guys. Honestly, what do I think of the sniper? Is it my go-to class? No. My go-to class is between the bulwark and the heavy. Those are my two classes. I also love Vanguard. Assault is fun to play, but bulwark and heavy, in my opinion, are just beyond S tier, the top of the top. All right. Sniper, where do I put sniper? It's okay. It's not the greatest class, in my opinion. The way I play and the way I enjoy Space Marine 2 is getting nitty and gritty, getting into the battle, getting into the blood and guts. Like, I want to get into it, all right? Perching back and sniping from a distance is okay. It's fun. It's great support. You are the support player, okay? You're not the main character, if you know what I mean, right? So, yes, it's fun. It can be fun in situations, but it's not my go-to. If you enjoy sniping, this class and this layout that I just laid out for you will be really fun for you. It prioritizes headshots, so you really have to focus on your aim, and it's definitely doesn't do well in melee situations. So really keep that in mind, guys, when you're going into the fight. If you get into a situation where you are surrounded on all angles, you got to utilize your Camo Cloak to get out, all right? Another thing about Camo Cloak, remember what I showed you with those micro cancels or those quick cancels or whatever you want to call them? Utilize that to get your stim pack, or to almost mimic a stim pack, okay, to get your contested health back. If you get a big drop in contested health, you have that huge white bar, boom, pop the Camo Cloak, you get it all back, all right? And then quickly cancel, okay? When you activate Camo Cloak, you can cancel it right after, okay? So don't let the whole Camo Cloak drain unless you absolutely need to. Just my opinion, guys, all right? Utilize the Camo Cloak as almost free stim packs rather than as is kind of what it's intended to be, is to get, to stay invisible. Don't utilize it that way. That's a beginner way of utilizing it, in my opinion. Utilize it for its perks. Utilize it for what it brings through its class perks, all right? So definitely, guys, a go-to class. Feel free. Again, I'll go into it again. Take a screenshot of this. Use it. Tell me what you think of this. If there are any changes that you think I would benefit from, definitely let me know in the comments below. I'm not set in stone on anything. There are a few that I love that I don't think I'll get rid of, aka this boy right here. I love this one, and honestly, I use a Laz Fusel and I enjoy it more than the other sniper, so I'll probably be keeping that as well. But in terms of the other perks, guys, I'm happy to hear what you guys have to say. But anyways, guys, appreciate you watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment below, both negative and positive, if you enjoyed this breakdown. And guys, I will see you in the next one.